Get a £5 free bet every week with Offer Club from William Hill. Simply stake a total of £20 or more across the week on pre-match football accumulators with 4 or more selections, and you'll get a £5 free bet on the Friday. Join William Hill Offer Club on mobile or online now.
James Holder, IFL TV, in association with Matt Lynch, Jim Marbella. We're in Mitcham today with me, none other than Alfie Warren. What's happening, Alfie? You all right, mate?
How are we, James?
Yeah,
nice to be on your manor for today. Have a little tour around here.
Get involved.
Been in Papa Elder's sandwich shop. It's been brilliant. Been treating me too well down here. So
big weekend. Billy Joe Saunders' first defence of his WBO world title in Scotland. Firstly, let's talk a little bit about that. How do you see Billy Joe getting on?
I see Akavov giving him a stern test. I think I say stern test. I think he'll give him the rounds. I think he'd be a durable opponent. He's going to come and have a go. I don't think it's going to be a total walkover for Billy Joe. But you know, the fight is what it is. It's you know, to shake the ring rust off. You know, Akavov's highly ranked in the WBO, so he is going to come and have a go. And you know, this is going to put him in good stead to lead into 2017. Where there's going to be some big fights ahead for Billy Joe. You know, it's been a sort of a funny year for Billy Joe. You know, he's you know, certain fights that have been that have fell through for him. You know, negotiations for fights and all that sort of stuff. He's had a couple of niggles where he hasn't been able to compete, but you know, he's going to put all that behind him. You know, to take out his frustration and lack of love, I think, and he's going to lead into 2017 where there's going to be some big fights ahead for him. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward just to seeing Billy Joe back in the ring. That's the main thing. So
would Billy Joe Saunders give Chris Eubank Jr. a shot at the world title?
Yeah, of course he would. It's a big money fight, you know.
We've seen some Twitter stuff back and forth from them. Obviously, they're not the best of friends, to say the least. So can you comment on that?
Well, I mean, it's actually a 2-year anniversary from that fight at the XL Centre. So obviously, Billy Joe brought that up. Chris Eubank's gone back and forth, talking about, you know, as they usually do. Frank put on a Twitter that, you know, he's made a big offer for Chris Eubank to fight Billy Joe Saunders next year. A big offer to fight him on BT Sport. You know, let's just put all this animosity aside between the two teams. It's a big money fight. It's a fight that the fans want to see. They're crying out for. So you know, do you know what? I've got a good feeling that it might happen because it makes sense for both camps. But like you say, you know, with the Eubanks, you never know. You know, there was a big offer for Golovkin on the table for them, and that didn't. You know, that fell through for them, and which was daft in my opinion. Joe last year as well that they've pulled through. So I mean, they've missed out on a lot of big fights, and you know, it makes sense. It really makes sense. It makes sense for both teams. It makes sense for the channel, BT Sport, and the fans want to see it. So it's just got to be. You know, it's got to happen. It will happen. I don't think it's a case of will it happen. It's just going to be a case of when it's going to happen. And you know, I hope for boxing, for British boxing, that it's going to happen early next year. I really do hope it happens. So
with this BT Sport deal that we're speaking about, we're potentially seeing some big fights on BoxNation via BT Sport. What big fights would you like to see in 2017 made?
There's so many. You know, there's you know, my personal favourites. I mean, it's obviously it's down to the team and all that. I know that there's some, you know, big fights in the pipeline which are being negotiated now. You know, it's not for me to say what's going to happen, but you know, there's so many. I mean, the top of my list really is Billy Joe and Eubank. Obviously, I would like to see Liam Smith fighting for the world title again, and if you know we get the other Liam in the mix for that'd be a huge fight for British boxing. I'd love to see that fight, and you know, I think say about like a couple of months ago or a few months ago, you know, I know Gary Lockett was saying, look, there's no rush for it, but you know, I think probably now is the time to get them two together. You know, he's coming off a He's come off a loss for Canelo, and a great performance, by the way, from Liam Smith for that. And Liam Williams is on a roll, and it was just a shame. I was really gutted for Liam that the Armut Patterson fight pulled out, because I mean, with a win over Patterson to lead into the big fights like that, it would have been great. But he did what he had to do on Saturday, so that's a fight that I would like to see. And you know, there's so many fights. Tyrone Nurse and Jack Catterall. Tyrone Nurse just signed up as well. That'd be a big fight as well. But like I say, there's fights being negotiated, but I'm not going to say any further on what fights are going to be negotiated. I'll just let Queensbury say them for you. So, but it's going to be an exciting 2017. Let's just put it that way.
There's a show coming up in Southampton. I know you're sort of involved in. Talk to me a little bit about that. What's going on there?
Yeah, brilliant. It's me, Mervyn Turner from Shamrock Promotions, Wayne Batten. We've been talking about doing a show down in Southampton on the back of Joe Pigford and Ryan for a while now. You know, it's been a good year for Ryan and Joe. I think they've got great exposure. You know, they're more well known now. You know, Joe's on the cusp of getting mixed in with the likes of, you know, Armut Patterson, Kokoran, and, you know, Jimmy Kelly. And it's such a great division, and to have all those guys in the same stable, it's just, you know, it makes sense for everything. And then, you know, you've got Ryan Garner there. You know, I've talked to you about before, I really do rate him. I think he's probably one of the most exciting prospects in the country at the moment. And I honestly do think, you know, I always jump the gun, I honestly do think that he will go on to win a world title. He was such a great amateur, and you could just tell when he first had his pro fight, like what he's about and all that. He's very, you know, very, very raw at the moment, but even for like a 2-fight novice, he's just like, you could just see he's got it there. So I think, you know, there's no rush with him. He's 18 years old, you know, but I think he's got a big future. As I do, I think Joe can have a big future in the domestic thing. But all this weekend is about in Southampton is about. They just wanted a homecoming. Joe, ever since Joe signed with Frank, he's asked for a homecoming show. He hasn't fought in Southampton in 3 years. So, I mean, he could have went on the bills. He could have went on some of the bills what have been in the later part of this year. But obviously, sat down with you know, Andy up the office and you know, Frank and all that, and they agreed. Yeah, let's put a show on down. They're going to put a show on down there. Let them top the bill. And what we want to do is build their fan base up. We want to build he's already got a massive following anyway. The pair of them have got massive followings anyway. And all it is, we want to build their fan base up more. You know, because the big fights are going to come for Joe anytime soon. So to get all the fans up and to follow him. But the main reason why myself I wanted to do that is because with the emergence of this BT Sport, we've got a chance to tap into a market down Southampton, and really the Guildhall is a perfect setting for what we're doing. And you know, they've sold out in 2.5 weeks. I mean, you know, and that was only when we had 4 fights confirmed on there. We was building an undercard and we still sold out in 2.5 weeks. We could have sold this out twice over. So it just goes to show that there is a market down in Southampton, and really we want Ryan and Joe to fly the flag for the South Coast, and we want the cameras down there. We want the cameras down there, and this is the chance to prove to BoxNation and prove to the promotional outfit that it is big down here, and let's get it going down here. And I'm sure, do you know what? Tomorrow I think it's going to be the start of something special down there. I really do.
All right, well, good to get you back on the channel. As I said, it's been a little while since we've had you on. I appreciate you coming down and giving us a bit of time today.
Oh, no problem, James, honestly, thank you. But like I say, yeah, this Saturday, hopefully we'll catch up after Saturday's show, and we'll have a little post-interview to see how it all went then. But like I say, best of luck to everyone up in Scotland as well on Saturday. We've also got, you know, Paul Butler up there and Jack Catterall finishing the year out from them. Oh, another fight, what was I going to say? Jamie McDonald and Paul Butler. What a brilliant fight. You know, that's a fight where it got mentioned. I didn't even realise that as it goes. So that's another fight that we want to see in 2017 on the channel. And I really, really hope to see that, because that would be a barnstormer.
All right, well, listen, best of luck in Southampton. Billy Joe Saunders as well in Scotland, and Jack Catt and Paul Butler. Should be a good weekend of boxing. I appreciate you giving me a bit of time today, Alf.
Thank
I'll
you.
catch you soon, mate.
Appreciate the sandwich. Cheers.